Everybody, oh my goodness, guess what time it is? Guess what time it is? It is 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm so excited, man. Y'all don't understand how excited I am right now just to be in the building. My goodness gracious, we have so much in store this evening. So much in store. When I tell y'all so much in store, I mean so much in store. Um, I, I'm overwhelmed, a little overwhelmed because I just talked to Dr. Payne, and she just have so much information and clarity about what we have going on as autism moms. A lot of time we get it twisted. A lot of times we are not focused because we're so focused on our children. Many times we can't do what we need to do because of our children, because we are kind of just set in stone on what they need and how they're acting and reacting. And we find ourselves especially a lot of new moms, a lot of new moms that just got the diagnosis for their child. We find ourselves kind of stuck because we can't work. And when I say we can't work, I mean we can't work. My oldest son is 13, and I had a whole career going. But the biggest thing about it is, guess what? There was no way possible that I could keep going because of the simple fact that he was doing stuff inside of his school like every single day, or if not every single day, every other day. He just kept doing stuff, and it really takes a toll on the body. Not only takes a toll on the body, but just takes a toll on your mind, your wellness. When I tell y'all, listen, we're autism moms, right? And we are meant to be stronger than strong. We are meant to do things that other moms can't do because of all of these things that's going on with our children. And trust me, I got two boys on the spectrum, and Dr. Payne actually has two boys on the spectrum as well. And so we come together just to show you and guide you in a way like no other, because we understand, we know, and that's how our community is set up. So if you are not a part of our community, I would have you to go over there, ma'am. Yes, go over there. It is Autism Moms Believe exclusive community. Now, this community not only has autism moms, but it has autism grandparents. I mean, it has grandmothers in there. It has caregivers, therapists, doctors. As you can see, Dr. Payne is in there. We talk about so many things. We have a mentorship program in there. I mean, they can play games in there. Not only that, but we learn so much from each other. And trust and believe me, when I tell you, you're going to find out that we have more in common than what you think. Trust and believe me, I promise you, we have more in common. Not just us, as moms, but our children. We can relate so much because our children are going through so much, and it is overwhelming. And so maybe you don't have the answer, or somebody in your community does not have the answer. But I promise you, another autism mom that have a child your child's age, or had a child that's your child's age, I promise you they may have that answer for you. And trust and believe me, this particular group, when you get in there, you'll see that not only do we lean on each other, but we lean on Jesus. And trust and believe me, that changed the game for everybody. But listen, enough about me. If you have any additional questions about the group, trust me, go on to our page. Once you go onto our page, all you have to do is just click answer 3 questions and you in there. But I want to put Dr. Payne on. I know a lot of people have been waiting and waiting on what she has to talk about. Man, she has so many just small things that we can do on the side. If you feel like you can work, that's cool. But not only is she a doctor, but she can show you and tell you about the Amazon stores, that when you work from home, you can do something like that when your spare time, when you have your kids. Etsy, and it's a lot of other things that she's going to talk to you about, and she's going to talk to you about some facts. She's a doctor, so she's all into it. She's researched, she's done it all, she knows it all. And trust and believe me, have your pen, okay? Have your paper, Okay, and get ready because she's coming. So I introduce to you Miss Dr. Payne.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. That was such a sweet introduction, Courtney. I wish I was as awesome as your intro was. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. And most of all, I appreciate this group. I say this all the time, but honestly, it was other autism moms who rescued me, what I would like to say, from the brink. Like when you first get the diagnosis, and it's not necessarily the diagnosis that's the problem. The problem for me was the advice you would get from some people, or maybe how they say certain things. This is final. This is permanent. Your child is severe. You are a stage 3, or you guys. Those things, when in the beginning, right, y'all, you can attest to this. In the beginning, they hit you like a ton of bricks, not just because you mourn what could have been. It's because you are thinking, what, like, am I wrong to feel sad? And then once you get over, if you're mad or sad, what can I do about it? And if you get with the wrong group of moms, the outlook, right, you guys, that they paint for you is so dim, it's so dismal and so sad that you feel guilty if you ever feel happy. Like, how long did it take you to get back to happy? Let's ask yourself. If you're still not there, then welcome to this group, because here is where we're going to help you get back to happy. You can have a kid with a severe or serious medical, condition, and still have enjoyment. And I was grateful that I got with the right moms who showed me and gave me hope. Not just hope, not just, you just hang in there. No, I don't need false promises, right? I needed actual factuals. So Courtney has put together this wonderful Wednesday where we can actually address some concerns and some needs and give some actual factuals to actually help each other. And even though I'm going to speak tonight on the little bit of things that I know about, well, I should say, I'm going to speak a lot about a little bit of things, or a lot, one of those. We are going to, if you decide that this is something for you, we are going to lock arms and do this together, and then we'll be able to help each other. So since all of us just got a little bit of time, right, in the cracks of time that we have, if we're doing things together, we'll be able to unify and be what they, like borrowing from soul food, and you guys are so young, you probably won't know, a mighty fist. We're going to be a mighty fist if we do things together, right? So that's just what I wanted to cover. So I want to go ahead and get into just some stats, if that's okay with you, Courtney. So you
Oh
let me
yeah,
know.
but tell us about your boys real quick though, so they know
Okay,
that
great.
you actually are an
Of
autism
course.
mom as well.
Of course. So I'm the mom of 3 boys. My oldest son is Gregory. He is 17 and a half, right? He will be 18 come June. We should do another call. I think you plan another call on that, right? Setting up the special needs trust and all that.
Yes.
Just about that time. If you guys, if your kid is
Yes.
17, then we gonna make sure we do all the right things, okay? But I have a 17-and-a-half-year-old. He was diagnosed immediately. He showed a pervasive developmental delay as early as 9 months. So we were already seeing neurologists, and we're looking at the diagnosis before he was 1 year old. Yeah. So, and then I had my number 2, which is Jeremy. He is 14. And I have my number 3, who also has autism. His name is Justin. He's 11 years old. Both of my kids, if you let science say it, are considered severe or level 3. I honestly, I know it sounds odd, rarely think about that. And it went to a point where I thought about it all the time. And now, even when I hear people say it, I'm like, we still saying that? Like, so I've gotten there with it, right? And I'm not to diminish what we go through, our pain. I have plenty of sad days, I promise you. But I have enough non-sad or happy days or good days or positive days, or my measurement of what those days are has changed. You see, because if we're not in the hospital, Courtney, that's where I'm at, right? If we're not in the
Come on.
hospital, because I've spent weeks in the hospital, Yes, I have. My son also has epilepsy, right? So if we're not in a hospital and I'm not facing some horrible lab tests, MRI, whatever, and waiting for prayer and faith, then it's a good day. Even if dinner fell on the floor, right,
Yeah.
and the Christmas tree took a beating, yeah, right. That's a
Yeah.
good day. That's a good day. If we're all and I can sit and watch my show, Wheel of Fortune, it's a good day.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
So and then hopefully, whatever yardstick is your measurement, you'll get there too, right?
And
Because
how long did it take you to be in that space? Because, to be honest,
mhm,
people online put me in that space with
yeah,
my first group that you and I met
mhm,
about 2 years
yeah,
ago with True
yeah,
Blue Brothers. It's about 30,000 people on there now, but other people, like you said, like other autism moms, other
mhm,
people that can kind of connect with us, they
yeah,
put me in that space to let me know that I was not alone. But
yeah.
tell me a little bit about how long do you feel like people can receive that? Can
Oh
receive
man,
that
it took
healing?
forever. I promise, Courtney, the talk of it made me cry.
Yeah.
And you guys see the commercial that's trending now with the mom that has the they or somebody, they might be depressed and they hold up the little sign with a happy smiley face,
Yeah.
and but really they're not happy. I promise you, I was there, and I not happy because of my kid, but because I was so raw, so tender, so hurt, so angry, so sad that I couldn't even speak. And if I
Mhm.
talked about it, I would almost cry. So I hate it. I'm a Taurus and I'm trying to cry. You hear me? So I hated to even get to that state. So I just barely, mentioned it. But it was other moms. I was almost forced to go to a mom's group that I did not want to go to. I
Yeah.
was forced. And all of a sudden, what I feared was absolutely what I needed. And I heard like, yeah, my kid chooses his shirt, and that was a phase. And then you go through that, and oh yeah, girl, they're gonna do that. But know what we did? And and it just
Yeah.
my new normal is so normal to me that when
Mhm.
people, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, what happened? I'm not even being funny. I forget. Like, oh, you sorry for me? Oh, okay, thank you. Like I'm
Yeah.
so used to my life as it is, that I no longer it just, I mean, we have our days, it can be tough. I had a real tough day, and I think you remember it, not even real tough. We were in Aldi's, and I'm sorry, we're going to get to business, I swear.
Yeah,
But
we
we
will.
were in Aldi's, and my son, I went to the store after school, which is what normal parents do, right?
Mhm.
Well, autism mom, and your kid is in the phase of working on, you know, going to the bathroom. So he was in the cart, right? Right. And unfortunately, he had an accident. And then people were like, oh, something's leaking from your cart. But I realized I had no liquid in the cart and what it was. So, what do you do at this moment? And everybody's trying to help you, and you realize they're going to know real soon what
Yeah.
this is, right? And so, I'm fortunate that my kids go to an all autism charter school. And at one point, we were very small, and we met every Saturday in a mom's group. And we talked about different autism issues, like we're doing here. And
Mhm.
it changed my life, Courtney, because another mom innocently said, listen, I learned when your kid does something and something happened, you act like it's normal, apologize 3 times, and you just get out of there. You don't have to explain. Don't wait there for shame or whatever to set in. You
Right.
just carry on, and you don't want, the only thing you're going to keep and consider is your child and how you don't want to embarrass them, and you want them to not be, shamed. And so you just move on. And because of that advice, I knew how to respond in all these. And nobody knew anything. I knew. Nobody knew anything. And we got out there, and I got in my car, and I went live in that group, and I said, thank you. Because I wouldn't have known what to do. And someone's innocent advice that I probably got a year before, months ago, 2 years ago, saved me at that moment.
Ugh,
So that's why I'm hoping with what Courtney has here that we can be that way for each other, right?
absolutely.
And save each other by sharing little things that can help us get all the pieces of our life that are, maybe a little, difficult fitting in our puzzle. Is that
Absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely. And there's so many moms that have stuff going on right now that's trying to help the autism community, but we still have those moms in our community, in our online community here at Autism Moms Believe, that
Mhm.
really is still in their box. They're
Yeah,
in their shell.
yeah,
They don't know how to get out. They don't see, they don't believe like they need to
mhm,
believe. They don't see
yes,
like, oh, my child can talk. My
yeah,
child may talk.
yeah,
May talk.
yeah,
Can I say
yeah,
may? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You say, well, he's never gonna do this. Don't ever say
yeah.
that.
And
Ever
don't
say that.
believe, and I say this, and I am a physician. My husband and I are primary care in the state of Florida. We have 3 clinics. I love practicing. I'm a chiropractor and a medical examiner and a wellness advocate. And let me tell you, when I go to work, it is fun. You hear? And I love my job. Love. Know why? I got 3 people helping me. At
Yeah.
home, it's just me. No. So I love my job. But I became good at my job over time because I developed, I learned to love my work, right? And the thing about autism, being an autism mom, you can love your child and not love every moment that the spectrum, gives us, right?
Yeah.
But you can learn that this is our life. And if you don't have to be ashamed of it. You could shape it. And don't assume that the other kid must be easy
Yeah.
because I promise you, my children are considered severe, but it depends on the setting. You
Yeah.
see, I'm at an autism school, and in our neurotypical school, and even in our private school, we paid a lot of money.
Mhm.
They're so much work. Oh my God. Oh my God. The teachers, the therapy. Oh my God. But at my kids' school, they're like, they're easy. Oh, great day. Look what he did. It's
It's
your
so
environment.
important. Oh my
Right.
goodness.
And so when you're with other autism moms and you're saying, look at my daughter. And I saw in our group, this mom posted, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. I'm bad at names. Her daughter's on this little device and she's like skateboarding, riding something smooth sailing. I wish any of my boys could do that, but I saw her daughter did. And you know what that makes me think? Maybe they could one day. She liked it.
That's it.
That's what it does to me. And it makes me happy. And I'm so happy for her. And then another mom posted in the group, her
Right.
son can speak 4 different languages. Kid learns like this. You hear me? Right? He gonna
Mhm.
tell the truth as he gonna tell the truth. Now he gonna say his little piece. But he speaks 4 different languages. I'm excited. Know why? Because I think he has the ability when he's with maybe other kids on the spectrum that he's going to hear the unspoken and he's going to see the unseen, and I'm grateful for him. I'm grateful for
Okay.
his future, and I'm excited about what your kids do. And to us is a big deal. See, if I
Oh
come
yeah.
on here and I type to Courtney, oh my God, Justin, just girl, he flushed. Girl, he flushed. She's gonna be happy for me. If I tell
Yes.
somebody else my 11-year-old flushed, they'd be like,
What?
okay. But if I tell my autism moms, they'll be like, well, what steps did you
It's a
take?
difference.
Right?
It's a
Right?
difference.
So that's what's so good about community. And I'm super happy to be here and not to be long winded, but I want to paint that picture for you and let you know that even if you're in a dark place, unknown, even if you have a spouse who
Lady, we know you a
maybe,
doctor.
oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, even if you have a spouse that is supportive or unsupportive,
Oh,
or
that's
you think
good.
they're not,
Yeah.
right? We've all been there,
Yeah.
right? And some of the things that we're going to go into in the future
Whew.
that Courtney has planned is to work on that, right? Because
Yeah.
we can't change people, but we can change how we look at people and what we expect in return. Okay,
Absolutely.
so
We
I'm
have
excited.
we have single moms in the community as well.
Yeah.
And, they're just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to move? What am I going to
Mhm.
focus on? And the main thing is building their
Mhm.
team. You got to
Yeah.
build a team. You got to
Yeah.
build, it doesn't matter who it is. As
Yeah.
long as you know that they love your child,
Yeah.
one step at a time, just
Absolutely.
gain traction. And and
Mhm.
and as they get older, this is the thing. As they get older, we get to find out that, man, it gets easier. It gets
Yeah.
easier because we get better, they get better, you get more
Mhm.
people on your team, and
Yeah.
you start to see things in a different way.
Yeah. And learning to trust. That's the thing I deal with.
Ooh,
I deal with it too.
that's good.
Even though in real life, I trust in like most people. I know, I mean, of course, I'm a person of faith, and so is Courtney and most of you. But I know that the world is full of really good people, but the dirt bags make so much noise that you would think it was the other way around.
Yes.
Okay, right? So, but what I'm encouraging and what we are doing, of course, at the kids' school and even with each other, is that start the process now. When you're able, you have the mental clarity, the insight, and everything to vet. Because I have a mom, you guys, who's a patient of mine, and her daughter's 28. And this mom, she has some major health issues, right? Statistically speaking, they would counter out. They would put her in a 10-year, 15-year max lifespan with what she's facing, right? I'm not sure if she's completely aware of that, but with the stats that she's looking at, right? High blood pressure, diabetes, overweight, other health issues at that. She can barely move. And she is the only provider for her daughter. And she's like, I don't trust anybody. And I said to her, mind you, this is me who don't trust nobody either. So it's not like I'm lying, right? So I said to her, Miss Blah, I know how you feel. I'm with you. We in the same pair of shoes. I'm wearing a size 10. No, I'm not and a half. Anyway, so I
Yeah,
understand. But you have to make decisions in the when you're not here. That way she'll be properly cared for and she'll be used to people. God gonna make it. Well, I'm always here. And let me tell you, if anybody can do it, he can. But just in case you don't live forever, maybe we should, look into making some plans for her. She was mad. She
yeah.
don't even want to talk about it because this is an argument she's had for plenty of people. And let me say this, I want us all to be here till God calls our name. However, I want her daughter to have some choices and have some people in place where she's comfortable with other people and have a setting that is good for her just in case mommy gets sick and goes into the hospital and can't say what she wants to happen to her daughter, just in case. And I just don't want any of us, I know it's grim. I know you don't want to think about it. But what I want you to think about is that it's a good thing that we are going to be prepared and our children's future will not be left up to some random state. We're going to talk about finances. We're going to talk about setting it up to where they have income and therefore more choices, right? And
That's
there's
it.
lots of things that you can do. And I just want to go over some stats if that's okay. And the
Yeah.
reason why we want to have this call, if that's okay with
Oh,
anybody.
yeah, that's the reason why we're here. That's the reason why we're here. That's the grim, I guess, question. What is gonna happen when we close our eyes as autism moms,
Yeah.
to our children? We have to make sure that they are taken care of financially. And a lot of
Mhm.
times, typical moms don't get it because, they're raising their children to get out. But what if our children, we got to prepare. Like we got to take care of them for the rest of
Yeah.
our lives. And that's why I started building this community too, because a lot of moms, they're forced to kind of not talk about it. They're forced to kind of just kind of not don't even think of that it's gonna exist, but it really is. The older that they get, and you know this, Dr. Payne, because our sons are
Mhm.
almost the same age. JJ is about to be 14 in October. It's crazy. But you know, the older that they get, the more you're gonna feel that feeling like, man, what are they gonna do when they're 18, they're 19, they're 20? I gotta get them somewhere where I know where he's gonna be comfortable. I have to set up his life, I have to set up John's life, you know,
Mhm.
and a lot of times, you know, you feel alone. You feel
Yeah.
empty. You feel
Yeah.
like there's nothing out there. And a lot, and to be honest, that's the reason why we're here. That's the
Yeah.
reason why you're here, Dr. Payne, is because
Yeah.
you blessed me tremendously
Oh,
with the
you're so
information
sweet.
that you gathered. And I'm excited to share the stats with them. So yeah, go ahead, tell them the
Well,
stats.
we got a mom whose little one is turning 18 in February. So happy pre-birthday to
Oh,
your
happy
angel.
birthday.
And let Courtney know. I hope you got everything in place. If not, then I think you
Yes.
got a specialist, right, who can kind of help with that. I think it was a mom who talked about something
Mm-hmm.
like that on a call. Okay. All right. So you guys, I want to just mention, and I pulled up these stats because I wanted to have actual current numbers for you. So it is said that 45% of mothers with children who have autism are currently employed. That's 45% are employed. So that means, right, withstanding 55% of us are not employed. Now,
Mm-hmm.
of the mothers who are employed, of that 45%, 51% are working full time, right? And an additional 37% are working part time, right? The rest maybe do little temp jobs here or there, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more than half are full time of that low number, and the rest are part time. Now, the fathers are more likely to be employed than the mothers. 58% of those fathers of children on the spectrum are employed either full or part time. You see, it's the mothers with children on the spectrum who are more likely, amen, than fathers to report sacrificing career advancement for their family's needs. I was right there, Courtney.
Yeah.
My husband and I were double income. We made great money. And Greg got the diagnosis, and I went part time ever since. And even if you're high income, half of that will affect you, right? So even if you moderately income, half of it could affect you. Amen. Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
mothers with children on the autism spectrum are more likely to sacrifice. That's even career advancement. So even if you're employed full time, because of you, who phone didn't ring, let me know. If your phone didn't ring from a school, a daycare, a center, please let me know. Let me know if the preschool took your kid for a week and then said,
Man.
yeah, right. Let me know if that haven't happened to you yet, right? I hope
Oh,
not, but it has happened to me.
me too.
Um, right? So you're sacrificing. Who calls? Who do they call? Dad? No, they always call the mom. I even asked my
They
other son.
always call
Oh,
us. They
so sweet.
always call us.
Right? And there's other women who call them like, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, due to the increased demands in caring for their children on the autism spectrum, only 51% of the mothers with children on the spectrum reported feeling successful balancing work and family as compared to 68% of working moms whose children weren't on the spectrum. So even when you were doing it, the balance, that will drive you crazy. And I hope I have the piece to give you the release today because I read something. I'm a big nerd, so I read another book, and it's totally about business and execution, but it kind of made me think about us with that. And I see now we have a wonderful mom who said that she had to stop working because her mom got sick. How many of us we got our parents aging? That's me, and
Ugh,
we're taking care of my mom and my husband's mom, and his father passed. And you have a kid with special needs. See, our load never lightened. Right? Some people kids grow up and the load lighten. My load didn't lighten. Our load stayed the same. And then now our parents are aging and you got both things, right? Um, And then then we had of course COVID. People stayed home. Us stayed. That was a whole different thing for us, right?
It was
Right?
horrible. It was like,
It
oh my
was, and
gosh.
our kids who got routine, who they're used to routine, and then they didn't have the routine.
It's so many kids regressed. It's so many kids. I mean, it was like a shock,
Yeah,
not only just for the children, but for the parents. The
yeah.
parents didn't even know how to deal with it. You know,
Our
it's a lot of parents that just wasn't even home with their kids and they didn't know what to do at 9 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, then 12. Here comes 12. You know,
yeah.
and it's just like these kids are just like, what's going on? It was so bad.
I
It
had a great friend, and she's a psychologist, in the uptake of parents and people who are now dealing with major issues in their children. And what about weight issues? A lot of our kids stay home and they couldn't stop eating. You hear me? They couldn't
oh
stop
my God.
eating. That is a thing. We'll go over that. But yeah,
That's
you
a
guys,
big
and
thing for the autism community with diabetes and just these kids getting so much
yeah,
because you don't know how to say no because they deal with
yeah.
so much other stuff and they just
Oh,
want,
yeah.
I just give me some chicken nuggets and some
I
fries. And
know,
it's
I
like,
know, and with our kids, some of our kids have a right, right. Our mom says over here, some of our kids have a very limited diet. It's a whole thing, but you guys, with those numbers, there's no wonder that any of us, especially a mom who then has to have how many specialists? Well, let's have a specialist count, right? Your regular doctor's visit, your specialist visit, your therapy visit, calling out from school. So that whole managing work and balancing that and keeping your budget and having to replace school uniforms how many times a year? I can't even say. How many, right?
and
Right?
socks and just
Right? It starts to really get to you. It starts to really get to you. So, one of the things that I have found, what I started to do, I wanted to contribute to my family. I wanted to contribute to my kids, and I would say not just my retirement fund, to my kids' fund, right, to their livelihood. And even though we did the things right, we did the 401ks, we did the savings, we did all those things that you're supposed to do. I'm telling you, parents, no matter what, even for our own retirement, it all looks good and sounds good. But honestly, everyone I know who even planned right feels like they don't have enough even for themselves. And in our case, where as two disabled kids who are, according to science, will be 100% disabled or unable to have a fulfilled life. I also have the statistics to let you see how employable our children are. But it's so grim, you guys. Our numbers sounded better. So I know. So we won't go there right now, right? But making a choice to, if you decide that you want to bring in extra income, a paper route is not anything that's going to do it, right? There's nobody reading the paper no way, right? So
not in
what I
2023.
right? So what I did, I started to venture online, and I'm looking at some of these people and I'm thinking, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. God don't like them no better than he liked me. And if you don't think that is true, then I'm telling you, and I'm not going to go into a sermon, but nobody he loves more than he loves you. So once I saw what was online, I said, okay, I want to try to do something like this. Maybe it'll bring in a little extra money. So I did the things. I joined companies and I told people about the shaky shake and the do da da da. And I wrote book, right? I published on Amazon. What else I do? I did courses, and I'm going to teach people. We have an online course because they say online courses, just because this is what you're going to do. I had a t-shirt line. I did a couple of things, okay? And I spent a lot of money. So what I hope to do is to save some of you. You did too, huh? Yeah, I got a mom who's been there with me. We were friends, huh?
Yeah.
I,
Oh, and I
I,
just want to say, you guys, we are on several platforms tonight. So if you don't see the comments that Dr. Payne is speaking about, just trust me, it's on a whole nother platform. We are on several platforms. So
right.
just to be
And
clear.
then you guys know how to get in touch with any of us. I'm easily searchable, and so is Court. So
Yeah.
if you don't, know where we are, our home base, please come to the home base, because this is the power of it, is us, of course, helping each other, right? And sharing our experience. So what I found was a lot of half promises, or promises but half truths, right? Because you really can make money online. And I see a lot of women, even with the TikTok challenge with the Black Girl Magic, yay, it's awesome, right?
Oh yeah.
I see that going on, and people got massive numbers. Ask me what they're doing with it. Nothing, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to take becoming whatever on social media and making money. And I want to let you know, you do not need a massive following to make money online. Amen. So if you want to know what I learned and save you some bucks, let me share with you. There are several things that you can do, not even just working online. Of course, you can have there are some traditional employment options for you. The online employment options that a friend of mine just went through yesterday, we'll share those with you. I have to say, some of them are okay. They don't pay very well. So I wouldn't say they don't pay bad, but what is minimum wage? About $10 an hour in Florida. So a lot of these jobs are going to pay about that, or they're going to pay per assignment. Depends on your production, right? And so since, here in Florida Power and Light, that's our light company, they want their money all the time, right? So they need something steady, right?
Georgia too.
Right? So even though some of those things are not even a bad option, if you ask me, if you just need 20, 30, 40, 56 bucks here or there, that's okay. But what I'm talking about is more longevity, because this is the future. The future is actually, right? All right, Florida, right? Florida's in the house. Another mom said the power, like it on her nerves, right? They don't take no excuses. So what we're going to need is something more consistent. And I believe with that consistency, as far as when it comes to finances, you also have more security. And with more security, you have more peace. And with more peace, you're able to have a little bit more balance. Because one of the other facts I didn't bring up is that, yes, it's scary for the new mom. But guess what the new autism mom has? Some still have hope. Some still have optimism. And I was one of those moms who was like, well, my baby's really young and they all know about this now. And with the advancement in science, by the time he gets older, they're going to have something, right? You just wait, right? There's going to be something.
It's going to be a pill, or it's going to be something they drink and they just going to snap out.
Something in the Amazon. They're going to find something in the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry, new moms. I still believe anytime, any minute, any day, something's definitely going to be helpful. But what I'm bringing that up to say is that it's actually the moms with kids who are adolescent to adult, who actually start to experience more of a depressive outlook, more anxiousness, or more sadness, because they now are looking at themselves being in midlife, right? Or a little bit more. And then the fear of what will and what if, and or now, with our own health, our own mother's or father's health, we have that limited capacity to do the care. Because it shocked me one day, Courtney, because I work out, I try to do my best. And then one day, caring for my son, I hurt my back. One day he was too heavy, like overnight. And then for a second, that was scary, because if I can't do this, who's going to do it? Right? So what I found, right? I don't want to make us all sad. We all,
it's real though.
Overcry,
so
right? But
so real.
What I found is that, okay, let me put my head to this, right? Because I'm the mom, right? I have plenty of people that will hug and make me feel better. But now it's time to take action. Mm-hmm. So I need something real. Right. So what I started to do, actually, I stumbled. You know what? God actually answers all prayers, and I'm not even playing with you. Long story short, literally, I was in the hospital with my son. He had seizures, and of course, when he had the seizures, you hook my baby up to the machine, and everything go beep 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 beep. swear to you. And then they're like, they don't know what's going on. Go upstairs. You're not in the ER. You up to the 5th floor. That's where I was. That's not the good floor. Okay. And so yeah, you go right into your normal work. But I went up to the 5th floor and we stayed a week and some change because everything was not right and they didn't know why. We saw every specialist. We saw a pulmonologist, a cardiologist, a neurologist. Yes, ma'am. Everybody. The GI was up there. And my son just sitting there like,
Yeah.
they don't know what or why. And I'm crying and praying. And so after we got out, it was a week after we stayed there for Halloween. Oh, the holidays in the hospital, they really try to make you feel better, y'all, but it's so sad.
It is.
We were there for our Christmas too one time. But anyway, it's so sad.
It
And
is.
I prayed and I was talking to God. You know how you have these conversations. And I said, Lord, just send me something. Because I was off work for like 2 weeks. Now, luckily in my position, even though they had another doctor there at that time, I was working at urgent care. I guess it's good and bad for me that they liked me enough that my job was waiting on me. But we did lose income that week. Ain't like they paid me, right?
Yeah.
Right? But I didn't want to go to work because I wanted to be right there next to my son anyway. And the thought of what's going to happen next, even my son, my husband, everybody, come take a shower, go home. No. I ain't leaving, right? So what's going to happen next? And I prayed, I said, God, just give me something real that not going to hurt nobody, that I can do, that I can afford, that don't take too long. All the things. I had a whole litany. And at the same time, this man was calling me that was another dad who actually lost his child, and I connected online. And he knew how severely my son at the time was sick. And we prayed together and stuff like that. He introduced me to one of his friends. And I'm telling you, demographically, we could not be more opposite, okay? This is an old white guy. I live in Miami in a decent side. He lives on the side with the gates and the beach that you see on the TV, okay? This is where he lives. I'm over here, right? I'm a regular smuggler town, right? So this guy, I could be more different, but we bonded over our children. And he introduced me to one of his friends. But at the time this guy's calling me, I'm not interested because I'm so hurt. And I'm saying, Mister, I don't want to do no business. I done did all this online stuff. And I'm thinking, half of me thinking it's all smoke and mirrors and no thank you.
Of course.
Right. And I said no. And I dissed this guy. Right. Aww. And I dissed this guy. And guess what God did? And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got to say God, because this is what I believe.
No, preach.
This me dissed him, right? I prayed. The prayer, it came. I was like, nah. And 2 months, almost 2 months later, January the 16th around, I saw this girl online and she was a mom and she had 2 kids and she was cute like Courtney and she was talking and da. And I never really comment to strangers, and I commented to her and I said, oof, I wish, that sounds great. I wish And she went on my page and she saw some posts about my kid, my youngest, getting into something and we had to call poison control. And she reached out to me. And she reached out to me and changed my life. She told me about something that was so amazing that I even didn't want to believe her. I was like, yeah, okay. Even though I liked her, I had no reason not to. I was like, yeah, okay. And so the short of the story is I was able to be receptive, and I had a second chance, and she showed me something that actually worked. So I joined that e-commerce business, a wellness business that was amazing for me. And it happened to be 2020 when the pandemic launched, and everybody's scared any minute now you're gonna get laid off, right?
You were so scared.
I know. Florida was like pandemic. But we didn't know that, right? We're thinking they're gonna do their thing, and
I'm telling you,
like this, you don't know.
That's crazy.
And so, luckily, she shared this with me, and I was able to bring in almost $30,000 extra that year after failing copious amounts of time and really being a skeptic, and spent 3 months thinking, I swear to you, right?
Yeah.
So then The next year and so on and so on, I'm still loving that business that I did. Is wellness is amazing. Love it. That's my baby, right?
Yeah.
But there was other things I wanted to do and are
Mhm.
looked into. And one of the reasons why I really gave it a shot wasn't because I wasn't already doing very well where I was, considering the amount of time I put in. I'm telling you, I'm doing great, right? But I noticed that some people were here and some people were there and some people wanted to do other things. And I figured I want to, and I'm a nerd. So I'm like, okay, let me get into this. So that's when I started looking into Amazon and having my own seller account. And for those of you who don't know, I'm assuming that you guys all know, but some people don't. Amazon is the big company, Amazon. Amazon themselves have about 40 something percent of the products are Amazon. The other 60% are regular smuggler people and companies like me and other parents and other regular people who actually have Amazon stores. So when you go and you buy even something name brand like this microphone, it may have that name brand. What is this? Blue, what's it called? Blue Yeti, right? You buying a Blue Yeti microphone, you're thinking, ooh, Blue Yeti. And sometimes Blue Yeti, the brand, has a store, but lots of times it's being sold by individual sellers, right?
Mhm.
And those sellers, if you were to click that name, they have various things in their market. Some of them are niche specific, meaning they're focusing on one thing, and some have a hodgepodge of different things. You know, it just depends. But Amazon themselves are doing what they call the fulfillment. So that means the packaging will say Amazon and it will be delivered by Amazon. And you'll think, I bought this from Amazon. No, you didn't. You bought it from my cousin, Cleophas. And Cleophas got a store. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Okay. So Cleophas got a
For
store.
real.
And that's who you bought it from. But he calls himself princely things. But I know that's Cleophas' store, right? But you
Yeah.
think I brought this from Amazon from Creative Things, and it's just Cleophas sitting in his house clicking with his browser.
Clicking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. So then I started to say, okay, what do you need to do to get set up on Amazon? And I paid this company $7,000 for a course. I convinced my husband it was a dude. They say, baby, we're gonna make $10,000 a month, easy peasy, Japanese. All you gotta do, we're gonna pay for the course, we're gonna get some products, we're gonna put it in the store, and that's all we gotta do. Foreshadowing, it didn't work that way.
Yeah.
You paid them for the course, and then towards the middle, when they're telling you a bunch of stuff you could have learned for free, then they said, okay, so your startup capital is going to be about 10 grand. Huh? You said that I didn't need that much. I just gave you all the money I have loose for the course. What do you mean I need $10,000, right? So then you have to go through all these different little things. Now, there's shorter cuts. There's people who have different courses for different prices and stuff. And I found that a lot of it is good information, but they don't really tell you all of it. And so what I hope to do is to save you a little bit of time. I'm not an Amazon expert. No. But what I feel like I'm an expert on is different e-commerce business, such as eBay or Etsy and Facebook Marketplace, right? If that is something people want to look into. But I would say before you dive into that, an option might be to consider the company that I joined that doesn't have the risk. Because when I decided to play online in those big playpens, which are those big, arenas, I did it with the money that I made from the other business because I didn't want to subtract from my family's income. Because the short of the story is, even though I'm happily married, right? He wasn't happy about me not doing a good investment with almost $7,000 on that course. It put a huge strain on our marriage.
And
It
with
made-
Amazon, just to quick,
yeah.
just with what you're talking about with Amazon, how much do you make like per product? Like a couple, like
You'll
an
be
average.
surprised. Right. So if you're lucky, a great return will be 10, 15%. right? So you will have a product that maybe you're getting a couple of bucks on, $3, $7, right? When you start getting it and you're big and you got money, then of course you can buy a TV for 300 and sell it for 500. But you're not going to be able to sell a lot of those televisions. And when they return one or two, you completely lose your money because Amazon honors all returns. Of course, there are liars who will send you back a box of something you didn't even sell to them and you just lost out. You can't say, oh, but Amazon, they lied. No, they don't care. They don't care. So you better have money and be ready to take that loss. Another thing, like say if you're doing drop shipping, a lot of the drop shipping is from China. And there's some reputable manufacturers and vendors, of course, in China, and there's a lot that are not. And they'll say, yes, don't worry, I got this. You're going to get it in 3 days. How many of you have bought something off Instagram or Facebook and been like, and there's no packaging? You don't know who sold it to you. You don't remember. You don't have no email, and your money's gone. Lots of us. So likely that was a drop shipment, and likely even the person who had the store doesn't realize they sent you crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it happens. And if you kept all your paperwork and stuff, you can get some of your money back, and then you lose your business and it was somebody else's fault. You lose. Like they shut you down. Your IP address, you better get another computer. Right.
And it's so crazy because us as autism moms, we don't have time for that. We don't have time to just be losing and messing around. We want something that's permanent. We want something that's going to help not only just us, but our family. We got to make sure that we are consistent and it doesn't take so much time out. And it also is helping other people at the same time. You know, and I think that that's the biggest thing with, because, you know, Amazon and all of that, you know, it's just, it's a waste of time. And to me, because I see so many autism moms that cannot work, it frustrates me. I'm included in that. You know, I don't have a full-time job. I work from home. You know, I do the things, and then my husband, he is out there working. He's a sole provider, and at the end of the day, you want to help. You want to help your husband. You want to help, you know, your significant other, and you don't want to have to sit up here and try to chase down different things when you have your children here that need your help, that need your time, that need your effort. And so the things that you're implementing, to me, when you introduced it to me, it was very, very exciting to hear, not just for me, but for other autism moms that can relate.
Absolutely. So that's what got me the most excited, because once I saw what it could do, not just for me and my family, but for other people. So with e-commerce, right? Anytime you're buying online, you're exchanging goods, right? That business is e-commerce. So in e-commerce right now, most sellers who are selling on Etsy and eBay and even Amazon are all really looking for just US manufacturers. US manufacturers who are making products here, shipping it here with a certain quality control. And also, if they rip you off, you have some way of redeeming, you know? And so finding a US manufacturer to partner with is important. And that's what I did with the wellness business. But what more importantly, finding an e-commerce business that doesn't want you to just pay to talk to them. And a lot of the e-commerce businesses that are actually affiliated make you pay a monthly fee. And guess what you get that monthly fee? Not nothing. No, just the ability to work with them. And so what I like with the company that I partner with is that I don't have to pay a fee to be their best friend. I simply do get my own stuff, and I'm able to help customers, and I'm able to get income, and they offer a complete money back guarantee, 90 days, and no one gets hurt. In fact, I've been with them for over 3 years, and it's been wonderful. So I started there, gives you a good income, and then I ventured into the other ones. And now that I'm with the other guys, completely measuring the two, that's still my number one, because it is safer, better, easier than all the other things, especially Amazon. Now, I'm not shading Amazon. If you want to do it right and just have some extra money and be patient, because 96% failure rate for new Amazon businesses. Yeah. for the first products. So you're gonna have to try a couple products. Have some money, right? Have some money and be patient
Be
because
patient.
things will pay off. In the meantime, what Courtney and I are going to do, what I'm going to do, I want to share with you guys what we are starting with the wellness company. We are actually launching a little special project, our autism moms, and we're looking to help other autism moms who want to start working from home and have you take a look at what we have found and why we're both excited to share this with you and how this has given my family close to $55,000 extra. And it hasn't cost us anything. Actually, that's 55,000 in cash. I'm not even counting trips and product and all that stuff. I'm telling you, just cold hard money, right? And so that's what I like. And I am super part-time. My wellness company business gets about 10 hours a week from me. And so if you got about 10 hours a week, and in the beginning, you got about 5 hours a week from me, but you got about 10 hours a week that may be for you. If you're looking to then eventually go into Etsy or eBay or, even Amazon, we're actually going to help some of the moms that we know with that too, especially in our project group as we launch onto the e-commerce platform. So what we're going to do, Courtney actually has prepared a special form. Right?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, just DM me. It'll just be easier just to
Yeah.
DM me your information, like guys always do. Just DM me, let me know
Yeah.
your name, let me know that you're interested. Just say, Dr. Payne's, podcast and or Dr. Payne's live. I'm interested, and we'll
Yeah.
make sure that we link and we do not only a meeting, but we're gonna
Yeah.
make sure that we give you all the information. And trust and believe me, I don't do nothing that's finna sit up here and take all my time. I just don't have time. I'm an
You got it.
autism mom. I don't have the time. I don't have the
Or the
energy. I don't have the
concentration,
effort.
right?
Huh?
The time or the concentration.
Oh, the concentration. Yeah. And it helps my family.
Mhm.
That's why I'm most excited because
Yeah.
it's going to help
Yeah.
my family. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying just financially, like, period. Like, it's a
Mhm.
wellness company. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time for all the extra. I'm trying to
Exactly.
help my children, not
Yeah.
harm my children. And that is
Amen.
the biggest benefit for me. I'm excited about it. And I
Yeah.
know that you're going to be excited about it. Now, listen, if you miss something, please, just click the replay. It'll be on all
Mhm.
platforms. But also, too, we're going to be taking this the next step forward. We're going to make sure that everybody understands the information and they know that we have the information, because
Mhm.
all autism moms need to hear this. And that's just on period. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just being honest. Y'all know I keep
Yeah.
it real. And not only on this platform, but it is on several platforms tonight, YouTube. I mean, we're gonna not make sure that it's TikTok, Instagram. I
Mhm.
mean, every single platform that we can get it on, we're gonna make sure that we have all that information on that platform. Because again, every single autism mom needs to understand that this is out here, and it's not gonna just help you financially, but it's going to help you, period, with your children, with
Mhm.
you, with your
Absolutely.
health. It's a
Mhm.
wellness group. I mean, come on, it's
Yeah.
what we all need. And Dr. Payne is not just going to just come on here tonight. She is partnering with, she is a
Mhm.
part of us. She's a part of our
Mhm.
community. So she'll be back next month, and then March or April. She's here to answer
Yeah.
any questions that you may have, but she is still a doctor. So just remember, she is very,
Yeah.
very, very busy. But at the end of the day, she's committed to our community. Why?
Yeah.
Because she's a part of our community. She is an autism mom. And I am just so grateful that she has not only came on our platform tonight, but she has agreed to, make sure that every autism mom get this information. We just met autism moms in our community that was saying,
Mhm.
they can't do anything with their time. They can't do anything with their children. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how they're going to get this way or that way. Or it's frustrating.
Yeah. We
And
have to be our
now,
own rescue. We
oh,
have
man,
to be our own rescue. Today you rescue me, tomorrow I rescue you. We have to be able to help each other and not just share our pain or our tears, right, but also our triumphs. And so this is one of the things that we can't just ignore. Like, it's all good. Money matters, and we are not statistically participating in a lot of regular things because we have financial, you know, it's affected us. And so let's talk about some of the things that has been helpful that most could do, right? We all can't do everything, but that most could do. And maybe even being on YouTube is something that you're interested in. And we could go over the little bit that I know about that, and of course Courtney and some other moms and some things that we've all heard that we can share, and we can do that in the future. But remember, growing a social media, even in YouTube, it doesn't matter if you don't know what to do with it. So we're gonna go over that. I'm sorry, you guys, I got another call. That's why.
We got you.
That's why I got all those alarms.
Listen, we know and we appreciate your time tonight. Again, please DM me. Everybody DM me. If somebody is not on this call, please share this. And trust me, this is on several platforms. So share, share, share. It is very important that you share and have them DM me right here on this on the Autism Mom Visionary of Autism Moms Believe. Make sure you or Dr. Payne on Dr. Payne's on Dr. Payne's Facebook, her Instagram. She has a huge Instagram, all of that. YouTube, we're on YouTube right now. So just DM me. Let me know that you are interested. We're going to make sure that you get involved and get into this next meeting that we're going to have. It's very, very, very important. Every single autism mom. I mean, if you're not an autism mom, that's fine too. But I know that autism moms don't have, most of us don't even have time to work. Like it's real. And we have to take care of our children, not only today, but going forward. We don't know the future, but we can plan. Come on, for the future. Okay, we can do it, and we can do it together. And the more come on board, the more we understand that we can't even work hard. Okay, we got to work hard to make sure these kids get what they need to get. Okay, we don't have time to work hard, and so this is not working hard. This is informational. This is very, very important, and you and your family, your children are going to benefit so much from this. This information, and not only this opportunity, but just going forward, you're gonna see. Just DM me, and I'm gonna make sure that you get the link, so we can move forward and go. Dr. Payne, do you have anything else before we leave?
No, I just want to thank everybody, you guys. The future is bright here, and moms, because Autism Moms Believe, right? And where if you don't believe, then borrow my belief today and borrows Courtney belief tomorrow, and we're going to make sure that everybody knows that our future can be bright. Okay, so that's it.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Until next time. Listen, we have another podcast coming up, so just look on the screen, look on our community, look on this page, and figure it out. It's a lot going on. So yeah, this 2023, we pushing through. We'll talk to you later. Y'all have a good night. God bless, and we love you with the love of Christ. Until next time, peace and blessings. We're out.